any minute.
This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. It's your boy Jay McLovin here on the Elite Sports and Entertainment Network on the afternoon. Hell of a night, man. Playoffs, fantasy football starts tonight for us. How's everybody doing, Tony?
Doing good. Not too bad, other than some clown trying to mess things up.
Yeah. Doing Big Glenn the Clown here.
Big Glenn the Clown.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's jump into some Thursday night football. Big game tonight, the Rams at Seattle. I think the weather could be an issue tonight. Got some strong wind, maybe some rain. So that could come into play. Don't think Devontae Adams is going to play for the Rams. Chris, do you think that's going to make a difference? I mean, I know Rams are a really good team, good offense. Could that make the difference for Seattle if Adams don't play? And it's at Seattle.
I mean, Devontae Adams is such a good player. You're going to miss him. But the Rams we're pretty good at receiver as well. You still have Puka Nacua, who seems like he gets about 150, 200 yards receiving every damn game. They'll miss Adams in the red zone because Adams has been real effective down there in the red zone. If I remember right, has the most touchdowns for a receiver in the red zone. Has the most touchdowns. He's broke somebody's record earlier in the year. So yeah, he's going to be missed some, but I still think I still like the Rams in this game. They have the better quarterback. Their defense is right there with Seattle's. I know they beat Seattle earlier in the year. I know that was in LA, but yeah, I like the Rams here, even though it's in Seattle. The weather could affect a little bit, but honestly, I think the weather could affect Seattle a little bit more, just because I think Stafford has a little more experience playing in the weather, and I trust Stafford a little more than I do Darnold. Last time these two teams played, Darnold threw 4 interceptions. It seems like when Darnold gets in the big games, he has struggled. He happened last year toward the end of the year with Minnesota, and in the couple games this year, they've been the bigger games for Seattle. Is when his interceptions has kind of shown up. So I like the Rams tonight.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think I like the Rams too, even without Adams. But I do think the big key is going to be the run game for both teams. I think Seattle's got to be able to run the football, especially since if the wind's going to be 15, 20 miles an hour. I know it's 14 miles an hour now, and it is raining there. So I think, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be shocked if Seattle won the game. I'm not going to be surprised. But I think I'll go with the Rams 2 by a field goal. I think it's going to be a good game. Jay, what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup tonight. I mean, obviously, Darnold was on my fantasy league, but I'm not playing him tonight. Not after the last time these guys met. Both of them are vying for the divisional lead, right? So it's got big divisional implications, I feel like, tonight, with the 49ers lurking a little bit further back. But this is a huge game night. Darnold had 4 picks against the Rams on November 16th. So that's kind of makes me a little leery about them a little bit because, the Rams, like I said, they have a very good defense. The Rams defense, speaking of, ranked number 13 in total yards allowed. So that's not spelling good for Najigba and company. Also, the Seahawks haven't scored a touchdown in the first quarter since Arizona November 9th. So that tells me that if Seattle wants to be in this game, they've got to strike in this first quarter. They cannot go a whole quarter without a touchdown because Nakua and company are not going to be so lenient on them, especially and that's given though the fact that you got to remember Seattle has the top 5 defense that's allowed 25 points over the last 3 games. So even though their defense has stepped up, it's still the offense that still kind of is sputtering a little bit, even though Rashid Shaheed is kind of coming into form since he joined up with Seattle. So I'm curious to see how that continues to go forward. But I feel like this is a Nakua versus JSN showdown to see who's going to do it. Again, you have no Devontae Adams. And there's really not much of a third wide receiver option. You got Atwell and some other kid out there, but I mean, they really aren't used as much. And I think that's a lot of because Sean McVay uses that 3 tight end set. So what that tells me is a couple of things. Number one, that Nakua is still going to be your number 1 guy. But I do think that some of that will get bitten into by some of that tight end as well as maybe a little bit Atwell. And that's how I see that. I do think the Rams, though, I just think this is their game. I know the game's in Seattle, and it's going to be a tough divisional, but I still got the Rams. I think they're going to take it tonight.
Yeah, just want to real quick say, hey, Billy Buzz. Hope you're doing great. Big Glenn, your take, and then after you do your take on this game, if you want to talk just a little bit about the loss we had in the racing world.
Absolutely. I haven't looked at the point spread line tonight as far as the point differential. I would assume this is probably a healthy 2.5 point spread because we got 2 good teams, 2 decent offenses, but the weather being a big factor, it's probably come down to the field goal. However, I think the Rams are going to win this by 10. I think Sam Darnold is probably going to fuck things up today or tonight and allow the Rams to walk away pretty easily. But as far as the NASCAR news that we found out this morning, it wasn't official, but now it's pretty much official because of the circumstances. We lost the NASCAR driver, Greg Biffle. His family and kids passed away in a plane wreck in Statesville. I think it was Statesville, North Carolina. They were going to clear Smith Farland's event down Bradenton, Florida for this weekend. So
the whole family?
Yeah. Wife, kid, and kids, and obviously the pilots.
Yeah. Prayers go out to the remaining family members and friends. Yeah,
I saw the news when it started coming out around noon. I was like, "There's no way that's not great." I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I'm pretty intuitive in that way, and I use my best judgment on things like that. I was like, "Yeah, it's not good."
Yeah, Chris, I did want to ask you if you was going to make picks for this game tonight. Where would you go? I thought I seen it was 1.5 point spread.
Yeah, it's 1.5.
Yeah, I figure it was like 1.5, 2.5. It wouldn't be no more than 3.5. So.
And I did see a guy from ESPN said to take the Rams and take, I think he said under 42.
Yeah, they have Seattle as a 1.5 point favorite at home. So, I mean, pretty much the game's almost a pick 'em because usually at home you're usually getting, like Glenn said, 2.5, 3 points a lot of times. But so being 1.5, they have it. Even on the money line, it's plus 106 for the Rams, minus 124 for Seattle. So they have pretty close to a pick 'em.
So you would take the Rams?
Yeah, I'd take the Rams.
What about the over?
Yeah, I would.
With the weather, I would lean toward the under with the weather, just because with the winds blowing that hard, it could cause some trouble for the offenses, make it a little bit lower scoring.
Yeah.
And think about it. Seattle hasn't scored a touchdown in 4 quarters. They didn't score a touchdown against the Colts. So
This will be like a 13-10 or 15 or 15-12, or it's gonna be almost like the repeat of the Colts and Seahawks game. I feel like
it could be score wise. Billy Buzz met Biffle this last year.
Hell yeah, they Cleese McFarland held a Christmas tree drag race and stuff down there this weekend. So
okay, guys.
Let's go ahead. Go on to the next thing, Tony.
Let's talk college football playoffs. We've got Friday, December 19th, 8 p.m. We've got Oklahoma, the number 8 seed, I believe. Yeah, and taking on Alabama, the number 9 seed in the tournament. That game is at Oklahoma. Jay, What does each team got to do to win this game, and what are you expecting? It is at Oklahoma. Oklahoma defeated Alabama in the regular season at Oklahoma. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting game. Again, you got number 8 going against number 9 tonight. So OU versus Bama. OU does lead the series 5-2-1. They do have one tie. Bama is favored by 1.5. So I'm tracking that. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think that's why I think the point total is so close. But you got Brent Venables. I think he's been there. I don't know if he's been there now, but this is his second year, I'm guessing. I think since he's taken over at Oklahoma. I think he took over right as they joined the SEC. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken. But he's done a good job at OU in turning this program around. They're looking to get his third. Excuse me, Venables is looking to get his third win in 13 months against DeBoer. So it's going to be interesting. The key matchup to me tonight are going to be Ty Simpson versus that OU pass rush. I think they got, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he was sacked 4 times in the first meeting without Thomas, Marion Thomas being on the field. And that is OU's number 1 pass rusher. So they were still able to get him at 4 times. And he's going to be back in this game. So I look to see even a more advanced defense with him being back in the fold in terms of coverage. And then you look at quarterback John Metier for Oklahoma. He's a dual threat quarterback, and if he doesn't force the ball over, then I think he'll be okay. Because the problem with him is when he forces the ball, then it's usually the interception. So he cannot force the ball. He has to let the offense come to him. But I'm going to take it. I think OU is going to continue that run on DeBoer. I think they're going to continue to get that win tonight. But again, the biggest matchup for me tonight is going to be whether or not Ty Simpson and how he takes on that OU pass rush.
Okay, just to clarify one thing, that game is Friday. Night. Okay.
Friday night. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, man, this was a real tough game. The last game. If this game was 2 months ago, I'd have been all over Alabama because Alabama's playing real good football. They're not played really well in the last month. So just for the fact that it's at Oklahoma, I'm going to say Oklahoma by 3. And that's the only reason. I think the teams are pretty evenly matched. I do think Alabama's got the better quarterback especially when he's on. But I'm going to go Oklahoma because it's at Oklahoma. Chris?
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to be a good game. I think this game's going to come down to turnovers. I really like Alabama in this game. Alabama, I know, hasn't played real well the last couple 2 or 3 weeks. They've been battling some injuries. I think they're having this bye week off, and they set a few guys out in the SEC championship game that were hurt that didn't play there. I think they'll get a few of those guys back, the injured guys back. And if you look at this first game, the first time they played a few weeks ago, it came down to turnovers. Alabama dominated the game. Especially on the offensive side of the ball, they doubled up the amount of yards that Oklahoma had. The difference in the game was the 3 Alabama turnovers, and even with Alabama doubling them up and turning the ball over 3 times, Oklahoma ended up winning that game by 2 points. So Alabama turned the ball over 3 times and lost the game by 2 points. I think if Alabama takes care of the ball, they win this game. Oklahoma's pretty good defensively. They still are up and down offensively, kind of the same as Alabama's been. Alabama's been kind of the same way. Their defense has been pretty good, but their offense sometimes will start turning the ball over and can sputter a little bit. But I think Kalen DeBoer is a great coach. I think he's going to have Alabama ready, and I think Alabama's going to pick up the win. That's tomorrow night, right?
Yeah,
Tomorrow night, 8 p.m. That'll be 7 p.m. Central.
Okay, Big Glenn, what are you thinking?
Oklahoma, I feel like Oklahoma has a better team all around. Maybe not the quarterback position, obviously, because the edge goes to Bama in that way. But I feel like Bama's just like a little bit more superior in that way.
Okay. Yeah, it should be a good one. And I agree with Chris that Oklahoma's defense made the plays. I mean, they made the big plays. They got the big sacks and they got the big turnovers. That was the difference in that game. So if they don't do that, they could be in trouble. So we'll see what happens Friday night. Let's go into Saturday at noon. Texas, number 7 Texas A&M takes on number 10 Miami. That game is at Texas A&M because I've been thinking about this one. I'm going with the upset, guys. I think Miami's more physical. I'm going to go with Miami, even though it's at Texas A&M. I think Miami's a little bit more physical. Chris, what are you thinking?
Yeah, this is a tough one. What the hell did I just do? This one's a little tough for me because I mean both of them are pretty good teams, but neither one of them are teams that I've believed in that were like at the top of college football that really had a chance to win the national championship. I know they had Texas A&M ranked 2 or 3 there for a long time, but I've been telling you all year that I thought Texas A&M was overranked. I don't think either one of these teams have really played some of the top level toughest teams yet. I mean, the toughest team Miami has played is Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not even in the playoffs, even though I think Notre Dame's a good team and should be in the playoffs. And then if you look at Texas A&M, they had, like, in my opinion, one of the easiest schedules in the SEC. They didn't have to play the top teams in the most of the top teams in the SEC team or SEC. The only really top team they played was Texas. And again, Texas isn't in the college football playoffs. And Texas had a case of being there. I'm not shitting on Texas. I'm just saying, if you look, Texas A&M didn't have to play Georgia. They didn't have to play Oklahoma or Alabama. I don't think they played Oklahoma either. Like, they didn't have to play them teams. Texas played those teams. Texas A&M didn't. I'm kind of agreeing with you. I think I'm going to lean toward Miami, the underdog in this game, to get a big win on the road.
I think Miami's going to be more physical. We'll see. Big Glenn?
I'm surprised Gonzo didn't, when he said he wasn't going to shit on Texas. I'm surprised he didn't ask Jay what time the Texas play this weekend, but that's beside the fact. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave that there and not mess with that one. But
really, you're going to leave it there? You put it there. How are you going to? Of course, you got to leave it there. What are you going to do? Take it back? Like I didn't hear it?
Yeah, the clown's coming out again.
Yeah.
Look, hold on. You just had the biggest gaffe ever. Tony was willing to leave the league because and you want to come on this show, and then you are on thin water, sir.
Hey,
you're a double secret probation.
Yeah.
Oh, pushing your luck.
I'll plan on striking out. I wanted to see Texas in it though. I ain't gonna lie to you. But anyways, Miami gets the job done.
Okay, all 3 Miami. Okay, Jay, are you going to break the trend? What are you thinking?
What about thinking? I think about paying a visit back to Indianapolis. Okay, I'm totally kidding. Because the South shall rise again. No, I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. No, OU versus, or excuse me, not OU. I'm sorry. Miami versus A&M. Yeah. Well, A&M is favored by 3.5. And they are coming off of that bad loss against not bad, but I mean, obviously it was a loss against Texas. So they're not coming in with exactly the most momentum into this playoffs. But again, Miami is going for their 6th national title. When I was doing my research, I didn't realize they had won that many national titles. I thought it was somewhere around 3 or 4. I didn't realize it was going for 6. So yeah, it's a bounce back game. So, I got to feel like they got punched in the mouth. Like Chris said, they haven't really been tested a whole lot. So it's good to see them get punched in the mouth, and let's see how they come out. Again, the interesting thing about this is you get the SEC Defensive Player of the Year in Howell versus the ACC Player of the Year in Concepcion, if I said that name correctly. So you're getting 2 bouts of the Defensive Players of the Year. For me, this is kind of the matchup for me is going to be the A&M pass rush versus the Miami offense. And so I'm curious to see how that's going to unfold. You're right. They are a little bit more physical, so there is that as well. I think the Texas A&M player to watch, like I said, is going to be Concepcion just because there's versatility. And excuse me, I was wrong on that. Miami's ACC Player of the Year was Bain. Reuben Bain Jr. I apologize. I was looking at my notes wrong. It was actually Texas A&M wide receiver. They got, I forget what award it is, but it's the one that's for the most versatile player of the year. and it was actually wide receiver / punt returner Casey Concepcion. So I apologize for that misconception there. But again, you are still getting the 2 defensive players of the years going at it. But I'm going to put A&M on this. I'm going to ride with my boys, and I say my boys because they're from Texas. So I support all Texas teams. Y'all know that. So I'm going to ride with Texas A&M on that.
Especially Houston. Okay.
Especially Houston. You're absolutely correct. Damn it.
Well, Astros and the Rockets. Next up, number 6 Ole Miss versus number 11 Tulane. That game's at Ole Miss. They played earlier in the year. Ole Miss beat them up pretty good. I don't expect any difference, guys. I don't see what you guys think here. Again, that game's at 3:30. Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I caught a little bit of this. When I was watching McAfee, Saban was on McAfee, and I kind of agreed with what he said. This game for me really is a non-factor game, honestly, for me. I feel like Tulane or Ole Miss, even without Lane Kiffin, they still had the majority of that staff there. Tulane, again, they got in like James Madison, or is it James Madison? Is that who they?
Yes.
No, James,
Yeah.
James, right? Okay. So James Madison. So I mean, these are guys that were invited for the most part, right? Stop. I see. But look, these guys were invited, right? I mean, it's not like they won their way in. They were invited because they won smaller titles or conference championships. Tulane, they can move the ball, but they have a hard time stopping the ball, like Nick Saban said. And I do agree with him on that. The Green Wave are going to have to figure out how to stop that offense of Ole Miss. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Ole Miss is going to get this, and Tulane is going to go back to where they should have been left, which is back behind the driver's seat.
Okay, Big Glenn.
This is one of those games that you look at the bracket and like you think to yourself, it's one of those who gives a fuck games. Obviously, Ole Miss.
And Chris.
Yeah, this game ain't this. I mean, they played earlier in the year, and Ole Miss beat them like 45-10 or 55-10, something like that. I mean, I think Jay and Glenn probably could coach Ole Miss Saturday and beat Tulane. I mean, just being serious. The talent disparity in them two teams, like
That's the problem.
like it's just I just think it's going to be ugly. But don't get me wrong, it'd be awesome to see Tulane win just because everybody would go crazy. It'd cause a bunch of chaos, and chaos in college football is always fun. But I think Ole Miss might beat them more this time than they did the first time. I think it's going to be probably a 30-40 point blowout.
Next game up, Oregon and James Madison at 7:30 p.m. If there's out of the two games here, we got Ole Miss and Tulane, and we got Oregon and James Madison. I think James Madison has a better chance. I still think it's little chance, but the key for James Madison is they got to run the football. That's what they do. They run the football. The quarterback runs the football. If they can do that, eat up time, and keep Oregon off the field, that's a tall task. And at Oregon, I just don't think that they've got a chance. They'd be considered lucky to keep it close. If they could keep it within 14 points, in my opinion, that would be almost a win. I mean, I hate to say it, but like Chris said, it's just difference in rosters, difference in teams. So, Chris, what are you thinking?
Yeah, this is another one where James Madison, they're not a bad football team, but the problem is that they don't play this kind of competition. That if you look at their schedule, they really haven't played no big schools. And to me, also James Madison is losing their coach. Like, this coach is on his way out. He's not. Yeah. He took a job at UCLA, so he's juggling two things. He's trying to get the recruiting and get ready for the transfer portal and everything at UCLA, and you're trying to get your team ready for this. And I would say quite a few of these guys that are playing for him at James Madison are probably going to UCLA with them.
Yep.
And a lot of people forget a lot of these guys at James Madison were recruited and coached by Cignetti, because Cignetti just left James Madison last year. So the guys a lot of the guys that didn't leave with Cignetti are still there with James Madison. You know, I believe that coach at Chesney was also on, might have been on Signetti's staff back then, and now he's going to UCLA. I just don't think James Madison's going to have it be big enough on the lines. I think they're going to get dominated on offensive and defensive lines by Oregon, and I think Oregon wins by probably 2-3 scores.
Yeah, I think so too. The best team James Madison played last year was this past season was Louisville, and they lost by 14, I believe, to Louisville.
Hey, Louisville beat Miami.
Louisville was up and down. I mean, they're not a terrible team.
Yeah, I mean that's their best.
Yeah. Okay, Jay.
Yeah, excuse me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't James Madison? They just got into the FBS. Weren't they at FCS school at one point?
Yes.
Yes.
Last year was their first year, or no, the year before last.
Yeah.
Signetti's last year there was their first year in the FBS because he got them from being in the FCS up to FBS. This will be their third season in the FBS.
Yeah, because I mean I don't know a lot about James Madison, but I did know that they were an FCS school at one time, and it's interesting that Signetti was one that brought them into FBS. I guess it kind of just continues to show you how good Signetti is because he got the bring them into FBS, and then not only in the FBS, but now they're in obviously the playoffs. Even regardless of whether it's an invitee or not, to come from FCS to FBS and then win your conference in the FBS, and then make the national title or make the playoffs for the national title. That's big feats for James Madison. And I think UCLA is going to benefit off of the hiring of him. With that being said, though, they still have a long ways to go. They are not on Oregon's level on any way, shape, or form. And I think Oregon is going to handle them just like Tulane. I looked at this like the Tulane game. Great for the invitation, guys. But
hey Jay, one of your favorite quarterbacks that played for the Dallas Cowboys played for James Madison University and Kurt Signetti.
It wasn't Dak. It wasn't Aikman. Was it Romo?
No, not Romo. He was Eastern Illinois.
Yeah, you're right. Eastern Illinois. Okay, go ahead and tell me. It wasn't Staubach.
Ben DiNucci.
Shit.
DiNucci.
Let's not talking bullshit.
He did.
Are we really gonna talk about Ben DiNucci? Is this what we're doing? Is this where this show has gone? Are we hurting for content? What's going on here?
I watched the interview. No, the other night, I watched the interview, and it was Ben DiNucci talking about James Madison, talk about Kurt Signetti, and it was because they were asking him if he was surprised what Signetti has done at IU and the kind of coach Signetti is and everything. But no, because I didn't realize that he had played at James Madison for Signetti till then. But no, it was a real good interview. He spoke real highly of Signetti and was talking about how much Signetti helped him improve at James Madison. And basically, Signetti was one of the main reasons that he was able to get drafted and go to the NFL and stuff. So but no, it was a good interview.
Yeah, I bet it was.
I'm surprised they didn't say Quincy Carter.
If I was so damn scared of your mama beating the crap out of me, I'd come up there and talk to you about it. But your mom scared me a little bit.
I do want to talk about IU because they did get some pretty good hype this past Sunday. I want to talk about that.
We don't get hype. We stay hype.
I haven't watched the full thing, but I've seen a bunch of clips from it, and we'll talk about that in a second. But Big Glenn, your thoughts on this last game, Oregon and James Madison?
Oh, Oregon's going to roll them. It's going to be like 35-14. Kind of.
My thing is on the playoffs, why they schedule it the way they scheduled it? To me,
it's weird.
The Miami and Texas A&M. If you're going to play the Oklahoma-Alabama game on Friday night, the Miami-Texas A&M game should have been the evening game on Saturday. Not Oregon and James Madison. Texas A&M and Miami shouldn't be playing at noon, and then you got the other two games that you think could be blowouts playing at. And don't get me wrong, it could go the opposite other way. James Madison and Oregon could somehow come down the last fucking play, and Miami or Texas A&M, one of them teams might blow the other one out. You know what I mean? So it might end up being the worst game out of the three. You never know. You know what? Going by paper, it's like they scheduled what could be the best game on Saturday at noon. And it
They-
just to
they
me,
they
scheduling
got
didn't realize
backwards.
it.
Is it because of the NFL?
Ooh, shit, that's right. I forgot about
Chicago
that.
and Green Bay play Saturday.
Oh yeah, NFL does have a Saturday game. That's why.
Damn.
That
Yeah, makes sense.
that's probably one reason.
I
And
don't know why.
another reason I didn't think of that 12 o'clock game is probably on ESPN too, or on ESPN as well.
I
And
think so.
ESPN probably wanted to make sure they had a good
I
game.
think the other two games are on TNT.
Yep.
If I remember,
That's
right.
why they put what they figured was going to be the best game on ESPN, gave TNT and True TV the other games, and then you're right. They tried to schedule them probably around the NFL game. So what time
So
is
the Oregon game is on TNT.
I think.
Should say that in there though, but
You know, Gonzo,
I
about
believe
you,
they've got the 3:30 and 7:30 game. I believe.
you know, it's funny about you saying about Danucci is the fact I thought you were going to say some crazy name like Quincy Carter or some shit.
I am going to look it up because I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But Sunday, 60 Minutes did a great big story on IU.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen a ton of clips. They talked to John Mellencamp. They talked to the guy who's been the announcer for IU, the radio announcer since 1970 or something
Don
like that.
Fisher.
Yeah, and it was very, very well done, very good. Talked about Signetti. The other thing they really talked about, and I'm glad that they did, one of the main reasons why IU's done what they've done, I mean, is because of the portal. I mean, without the portal, they don't do what they did as quick as they did.
Right.
And NIL.
But Signetti hit on everything too. So I mean, it's just not anybody can use the portal, and it don't mean that everybody's going to do what he did. So because he's hit on everything, had a great game plan. I don't know, but a lot of people are going to try that. A lot of teams are going to try. A lot of athletic directors are going to bring the coach in, hoping that they can do what Signetti did if they get the money. So but I thought it was very interesting, the clips. I do have to look up on YouTube and see if I can find the whole thing. But I thought it was pretty cool that they did such a big story on IU football, the one that didn't exist for till 2 years ago.
And the crazy part that I came away with seeing those clips and those videos about that is how much Signetti has changed the culture of IU football from top to bottom.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
It is, no doubt. But yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, no, the real quick, the Oregon game is on TNT.
Yeah,
I double checked that, but no, that 60 Minutes was awesome. I actually watched it. I watched it was the last night or the night before. I watched it. Like you said, they had Mellencamp on there. They interviewed him, talking to him about Signetti and what he thought about the turnaround, and they had Signetti on there. Then they interviewed a few of the players. Aiden Fisher, or a big defensive guy. They interviewed him. Like it was real good. It was real good, real well done. And then yesterday on the Glenn, is it 107.5 The Fan?
Yeah.
The guy the guy from 60 Minutes that interviewed.
Yeah, he was on the morning show.
Guys, he was on the morning show yesterday, and he talked about the experience and all that, and that was real good. That was real good too, because he talked about sit down with Signetti and Mellencamp and all that stuff. So yeah, if you get that's on YouTube. So if you get a chance, I'd listen to that as well, because it was real interesting. But one thing,
they had him on for 30 minutes, and they don't have people on like 30 minutes like that unless it's like a big time story. So
I wanted to clarify on the Mellencamp. I want people not to think, hey, well, they just had Mellencamp on because he's from Indiana and he's a rock star. He's been a booster of IU for.
Oh yeah, he's been a diehard IU booster and IU fan forever.
Yeah, he donated a building 20 years ago, something like that, a practice facility. He paid for it, completely paid for himself. He's donated millions of dollars to IU education, sports programs. So he's a big booster. I mean, huge booster for all IU sports.
When you watch it, that is funny. He sits up on a perch on the top of the press box.
Yep.
They have a place up there, a perch that he can sit on, and he's allowed to smoke.
So he can smoke up there. That's already. Yeah.
The guy that interviewed him mentioned it. He goes, he's up on it. Mellencamp sits up on his perch on top of this score box, and he can smoke. I started cracking up.
That's so him though.
Like
Yeah.
is he smoking weed or cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Well, he
You know,
might be smoking weed. Who
He,
knows?
he says he hasn't done any drugs in over 40, 50 years. They don't drink alcohol either.
Wow.
So his vice, believe it or not, was cigarettes and Big Red soda pop.
Yep. Yeah, we saw him up at the Jim Mercer thing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yes, we did. Well, guys, let's move on. I thought this was pretty cool. I seen this Fox Sports did top 10 biggest trades in NFL history. Guys,
I go first.
yes. Who do you think's number one?
No, you can't say the biggest one though. You gotta say a different one. Now, look, that's mine. You're only half cowboy. You're only half cowboy.
Okay.
That's reserved. Don't you say what I know you're gonna say. You say it. Strike three.
Don't be scared. Say what you want to say.
The great trade robbery.
Go ahead, Glenn. I know you want to say it. Go ahead.
Great trade
But say
robbery.
it in your cowboy voice. Don't say it in your Indiana voice.
Yeah. So the trade that sent
trashy Texas voice.
Herschel Walker to Minnesota and pretty much pay for the Cowboy championships.
Three of them, at least.
1989. Yep, the trade for Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings. That is number one.
Yeah, not surprised. That's why I actually told him, hey, let me go first because I know my history so well. So
Jay, number two.
He took mine.
This is who you think number two is.
we'll share it, Jay. We'll share that one.
I don't even know. I can't in my brain. Come back to me. Let me think for a
Okay,
second.
Chris, number two.
Oh man, I'm trying to think back at what was a trade and if it was free agency.
I know what.
Did the 49ers trade Joe Montana to the Chiefs when that happened?
That's a good question. I thought he was a free agent when he.
I can't remember if he was a free agent or if they traded him because they had Steve Young, but I couldn't remember.
Montana's not on this.
Okay, so it might have been free agent then. I know there's one that's just I'm just skipping it, but
I think I know which one you're thinking of. But I can't remember if it's an actual trade. You want me to go, Tony?
No, Chris,
you can let Glenn go. I'm trying to think.
okay, go ahead.
I'm going to put the guess out there, and I think it might be wrong, and I'm sure Chris is probably going to take of it as well. I know exactly where he's going with this because who we like, Marshall Faulk to the Rams.
Colts trade Marshall Faulk to the Rams 1999 is number two.
Damn.
Okay.
Sorry, Gonzo.
Okay,
right.
Jay, number three.
I'm only going to say this because I know what he means to that or what he meant to that organization. I got to think. I'm thinking Steve Largent. And the only reason I know about Steve Largent is he used to be a Houston Oiler, and my dad would talk about it when they traded him to the Seahawks. So, I'm only going to, and I know that because I know Steve Largent. Correct me if I'm wrong. He was put into the Hall of Fame, right?
I think
well?
so. I think so, but Largent is not on the list. Top 10.
Ah,
Well, I'm going to give you guys number 10. Number 10 was Rams trade Jerome Bettis to Pittsburgh, 1996.
Oh, that was a good one too because it's part of the
Chris,
Super Bowl team.
number three.
Randy Moss going to the Patriots.
Let me look
That was
here.
a trade.
Number 9, Raiders trade Randy Moss to New England, 2007. Okay, Big Glenn.
I'm gonna take a guess because I know it was between two teams, but I don't know if it was a sign. It may have been free agency. Reggie White from the Eagles to the Packers.
That is not on the list.
Not surprised. Yeah, I was gonna take a shoot on that one because I couldn't remember the terms of that.
I'm surprised. This is my other one, and I only know this because I figured y'all would know this. What about Eric Dickerson? Wasn't he traded to the Colts?
Number 3, Rams trade Eric
There you go,
Dickerson
Jay.
to the Colts, 1987.
I remember when he got traded.
Okay, Chris, who's number 4?
What was number 2?
Okay, number 2 was Colts trade Marshall Faulk to the Rams. Number 3 was the Rams trade Eric Dickerson to the Colts, 1987.
We already said Jerome Bettis.
Yep.
Joe
Randy
Montana,
Moss.
Joe Montana was traded to the Chiefs.
Okay, it's
He was traded, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was traded. It might not have been on in that, but he was traded.
I
to
thought
the
he was a
Chiefs.
free agent, but okay, that okay. I guess that makes sense. Shit.
I couldn't remember for sure, but I looked that up to see.
No. Number one, Frankie, was Cowboys trade Herschel Walker to the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't know how he wouldn't know that. Everybody knows that stuff, but anyway, it's okay.
What about Bills trading for Jim Kelly?
Oh, that was good.
It's not on there, but
That's not in the top 10.
Because
No.
didn't he come? Hold on, didn't he come? He came from the Gamblers though when he came into the NFL, correct? To the Bills. Didn't he go straight to the Bills from the USFL? Or am I wrong on that?
Not sure.
I'd have to look it up. I know they traded for him, and then he took him to 4 Super Bowls. I know they didn't win a Super Bowl, but
No, but still, that's
crazy
a
that
big
it's not in
trade.
the-
Yeah.
Big Glenn.
It seems like he went from the Gamblers though to the Bills.
Okay, maybe. Big
I
Glenn.
think Bill's held onto his rights the whole time, even with him coming back into the league. But San Diego trades Drew Brees to New Orleans Saints.
That is not on the list.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys number 8. Carolina trades Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco,
Oh, that was a big
2022.
one.
Number 8.
Underrated. That one doesn't get talked about enough.
What about Marcus Allen trade from the
Kansas
Raiders
City.
to the Chiefs?
That is not on there.
You got to think though, Steve. I guarantee you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
I have number 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think Jay, you're getting ready to get one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Steve Young, because that's what allowed Montana to get traded to the Chiefs, right? That had to have been in '87 or run '88 or '86, '87, right?
Tampa Bay trades Steve Young to San Francisco, 1987. That's number 7. Glenn, number 4. Who you think's number 4, 5, or 6?
I'm trying to go to my thoughts here on this one.
If you don't get it, I'll give you guys a hint.
Gronkowski.
That is not on there.
Not
Here's my
on there.
hint. Two quarterbacks and 1 defensive player are the 3 that's left. Go ahead,
Can I
Jay.
go? Can I go?
Yep.
Because you got to think, where did Favre come from? The Falcons. Where did he go? The Packers. And what did he get? A Super Bowl, and they named a damn street after him. I think he should never
Number
got a damn
6,
street.
Falcons trade Brett Favre to the Packers.
I
Chris.
was fighting with that one.
Number 4 or 5, Chris. We got a quarterback and a defensive player.
Quarterback and defense. Hmm.
Just because the way these lists work, I'm gonna say defensive player going to be the Micah Parsons trade from this year.
Number 4, Cowboys trade Micah Parsons to the Packers, 2025. What's left is a quarterback at the number 5 position. Glenn.
Peyton Manning to the Broncos.
Nope, not on there. I'm going to, starting with Jay, I'm going to give each one of you one more guess.
Was it?
I'll tell you who was the year, but I figured
No, it wasn't.
shoot.
Give each one of you one more guess, starting with Jay.
I'm only thinking this because when I watched them play against the Oilers to beat the crap out of us, it made me think about them.
Rams
Elway. What about John Elway?
not
Traded
on
to
there.
the Broncos. That wasn't on there?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Chris, this is quarterback, guys.
You said quarterback, right?
This is quarterback.
Yeah.
Chris gets one, then Glenn, and then I'm going to tell you, and then I'll read the whole list again. This is a good one. You guys are going to say, man, I should have thought of that.
I think I know where this one, because I was watching the video last night. Go ahead, Gonzo.
What? Yeah, go ahead. Apologize.
Eli Manning.
Not Eli.
Doug Williams from Tampa Bay
Nope.
to Washington. Damn.
Nope. not it, guys. I'm going to give it to you. Lions trade Matthew Stafford to the Rams.
Son of a bitch.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the list.
Damn. We should all be fired. Everybody's fired
Yeah.
on this show for not knowing that one. That was so
Yeah.
obvious.
Number 10 was Rams trade Jerome Bettis to Pittsburgh, 1996. Number 9, Raiders trade Randy Moss to New England, 2007. Number 8, Carolina trade Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco, 2022. Number 7, Tampa Bay trade Steve Young to San Francisco, 1987. Number 6, Falcons trade Brett Favre to the Packers. I didn't write down the year, though, on that one. Number 5, Lions trade Matthew Stafford to the Rams for Jared Goff, 2021. Number 4, Cowboys trade Micah Parsons to the Packers, 2025. Number 3, the Rams trade Eric Dickerson to the Colts, 1987. Number 2, Colts trade Marshall Faulk to the Rams. That was 1999. And number 1, of course, was the Cowboys make the deal, Herschel Walker to Minnesota for everything.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought when I seen that list, I thought it was a pretty good list. And there are some missing. There definitely some missing. I thought you guys all come up with 1 or 2 that could have very easily been on the list. But I thought that was pretty interesting, guys. Give everybody a heads up tonight, guys. We got Thursday night blitz tonight, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central. We're going to be talking about the Thursday night game that will be going on. The Rams in Seattle. We're also going to break down some games, and the games we're going to break down is Green Bay and Chicago, which play Saturday. We're going to break down Tampa Bay, Carolina, Jacksonville, Denver, New England, and Baltimore, and Pittsburgh and Detroit. So some pretty interesting games that we're going to break down in depth. So join us for that. Again, Tuesday night, we had a great show, and, man, we had a lot of people check out that show. We had like 1,600 people viewed that show, so we greatly appreciate everybody that has viewed some of that. And we again, please like and subscribe if you can. GSR and to ESEN. Guys, you got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah. Be smart. Don't be a clown.
Okay, bozo.
Yes. I figured to get that in there.
Aren't you on a wrestling show tonight?
Yes, I am on. Well, we've got a wrestling show tonight at 8 o'clock here on our network, GWR, GSR, whatever. At 8 o'clock, we've got, I always want to say it wrong, Face or Heel. I always want to reverse it, Face or Heel Pro Wrestling Talk at 8 o'clock. Of course, we'll be back on at 10 with the sports show, but I'm going to be a guest on the show in your house at 6. I believe it's going to be at 6 p.m. That's on YouTube and their Facebook page. And they also, they do very well on podcast. They do a lot of Apple, Apple and those podcasts. They've ranked in the top 100 before. So they do very well on podcast. So looking forward to that. Got invited on for that. And so I'm definitely looking forward. That'll be at 6 o'clock. We'll be talking a lot of pro wrestling. I know a lot of AEW.
Nice. I definitely will be looking forward to that. So make sure you check out Tony and the wrestling shows that he's doing. I'm sure it'll be. Is it going to be available on Gonzo's sports page?
I don't think so. We hadn't discussed it.
Okay. Well, make sure you check in with Tony and check into that kind of stuff.
The Face or Hill show is available on the Gonzo Sports Room page.
And ESPN.
The one that he's doing with the In Your House, I'm sure we'll share it to the page, but it won't be like just live on that page.
Yeah.
Right, and also, like I said, if at Gonzo Sports Room, or you can check ESEN, the link trees above takes you to all that content. You can catch the Face the Hill he's talking about. Also, like Tony said, we do have our football show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun, and you guys will enjoy it. And also, thank you very much to all the ones that tuned in last night and commented. We certainly do appreciate you, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys again tonight. And the new people that will be coming in and hanging out with us tonight, it's going to be a good time. As always, it's your boy Jay McLovin, Chris, Gonzo, Tony, and Big Glenn. Appreciate you guys. Joe, thank you, man. Billy Buzz, appreciate you. Frankie, nobody care about you.
Billy Buzz. Billy Buzz. So's Joe.
Yes. Yeah, Frankie, not so much, man. Yeah, Anyway, hey, man, check us out again tonight and also today. And it's your boy Jay, man. Y'all be good, and we'll catch you on the next one.